Hello, Rambler Nation, and welcome to the January edition of the Superintendent's Corner. This is Gary Vanna. I'm joined by Mr. the Great Scott Acom. How are you doing today, Scott?
I'm doing well, thank you, Mr. Vanna. I have to hire you to be my hype man.
There you go. I got much better one for your hype there. You know, I do voices and stuff like
that's
that.
Great.
Yeah. Halfway through the school year, can you believe that already?
It's going by quickly, isn't it?
Unfortunately, quicker every year.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Looking at the calendar, I mean, we're almost halfway through January, so it's pretty amazing.
So, speaking of January, it's a special month.
It is. It is our board. January is the Board of Education Appreciation Month. So I'd like to give a shout out to our board members for their work. People don't realize behind the scenes the meetings that happen and conversations and just the extra time that they put in. It's a great job. It's a great role to fill, and I appreciate their time and their energy. So if you see a board member, we have Kevin Eisinga, Ken Stahl, Karen Abrahamson, Matt Klein, Becky Volker, Doug McLean, and Dennis Hooker. Please make sure that you thank them for their time. And if anyone's ever interested in running for the Board of Education, please feel free to reach out, and we can let you know when the next election for a seat is.
And if you're ever wondering when you can get a chance to thank these board members, you usually can find them at the ball games. They are very involved in the school, not just the meetings, but they actually go to the different events that the school does offer.
Absolutely.
All right, so thank you for the board. Thank you. I know it's a thankless job, but at this moment, we are saying thank you. So, roofing project, what's the status of that?
Yep, so the board approved on Monday night at the last board meeting that to go ahead with our roofing project for this coming spring and summer. So they voted to accept the bid from Bloxham Roofing. So we will roof the remaining parts of the building that did not get re-roofed in 2016. So then all of our roofs will be up to date. The new roof will have a 20-year warranty. Excited about that because some of the roof that's being replaced is from the late 80s and late 90s.
Wow.
So it'll be nice to have that up to date. Unfortunately, with the cost of the roofing, it's going to be the only project that we're able to do this summer. We're going to postpone our flooring project, hopefully for the next summer, but wanted to make sure that we're being good financial stewards with the money that we have.
Now, just because the big project is the roofing, it's not the only projects going on.
No, we'll have other little projects going on.
Like you had one over Christmas.
We did. We replaced our doors over Christmas, replaced some old wooden doors that weren't very secure, that had been in the building for a long time, and replaced those with some metal doors and metal frames, just upped our security. Yeah, and there's always projects going on like that. We'll have some other little projects coming up this summer. When I say little projects, they may be little in compared to scope to the roof.
Okay. So, talked about security, kind of segues into the next one. There's something with the PowerSchool cybersecurity, and I've gotten a letter and stuff like that. Can you please explain the situation on there, and then maybe piggyback on what do I as a parent need to do?
Yeah, so yes, unfortunately, kind of just like everything this day and age, right? PowerSchool is our student information system that we're required to have, and they've had a cybersecurity incident over the holidays where someone had logged in and downloaded a bunch of data, not just from McBain schools. My understanding it was from schools in Michigan, across the United States, even parts of Canada where data was taken. We don't know yet what data was taken. We're still waiting to hear from PowerSchool on that. We did send out notices to our current parents and staff, and it could affect students from as long as 15 years ago, and staff from 15 years ago. Just like when AT&T or something happens like that and it gets breached, just monitor your things, just be aware, I guess would be a good thing. We'll be sending out more communication Once we have more information, we just wanted to make sure that parents were aware so they could start monitoring that stuff.
And you're trying to get ahead of this a little bit.
We are trying to get ahead of it. We're trying to be proactive with it. We don't use social security numbers in PowerSchool anymore. Now, 15 years ago they did. That was like a student identification number.
Yep.
So we've deleted that field since then from those that were housed in there, but we don't even know if that data was taken. So, but the good news is current students, recent students, none of that information is in there because they have a different identification number assigned by the state. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
All right. So it's the world we live in. So,
Unfortunately.
yeah. There's a change on the schedule coming up in February. I know that this is only January, but the way the time's going so fast, that's going to be around the corner.
Yes.
And that's about the parent-teacher conferences, but it doesn't affect the whole school.
No, so it'll affect the middle school and high school. We are changing the date from February 13th, parent-teacher conferences for middle school and high school only, to February 20th. The elementary school will still meet on February 13th with their scheduled conferences. Middle school and high school will meet on February 20th from 4:30 to 6:30. And they will be in the multi-purpose room and auditorium. And we changed this because of our student climate survey that we received. One of the areas that we need to show some improvement on is parent and communication and involvement. As you know, with winter sports, this week we have 5 home games. It's a busy time for parents and for students and teachers and staff. But we want to piggyback off of that, for lack of better words, a captive audience.
Okay.
Right? So on February 20th, we have a middle school girls basketball game at home. We have a freshman boys basketball game at home. We have a JV boys basketball game at home and a varsity boys basketball game at home. So our thought process is when we have people coming in to watch the games, hey, let's have them come on over and let's talk about the students' academics as well. So just trying to think a little bit differently and attack that a little bit differently. We tried that, I think, was that last year or 2 years ago?
Last year we did it for the first time.
And we were supposed to have a game, and it didn't. The game got canceled because the other school had a snow day. But we saw an increase in participation. So this is what we're trying going forward to try to help improve that parent communication and involvement. I also have a survey going out this week, actually today, to parents, just about how we can improve that, and so I'm hoping that they will take time to take that survey.
Okay, I want to circle back to the parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And just to clarify some logistics.
Yes.
It was originally scheduled on the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
There was a half day of school
Mm-hmm.
so that they could be parent-teacher conferences that day. With the high school and middle school moving to the following week, does that half day move to the following week? Do we still have that half day even though there's not parent-teacher conference? Can you explain that half day?
Good clarification. So February 13th is still a scheduled half day.
Okay.
Elementary will still have their conferences. February 20th will still be a whole day of school, and we'll have parent conferences that evening. We didn't want to change the calendar for a half day because I know parents have trips planned, different things set up for childcare, and the same for the 20th. So February 13th would still be a half day. February 20th would still be a whole day.
And I know this is next month, but February 13th is a half day. The 14th is no school, teacher development, and then President's Day that Monday. So just to keep people with that in mind, that there's going to be a 4.5 day vacation, winter break for the students.
Correct.
All right. So you talked about the parent climate survey, but there's something else going on in February. It's the Love Your Neighbor food drive from February 1 to the 14th.
Yes.
Who's this for?
Yep.
Who's organizing this? What's the concept behind this?
So this would be, I believe, our 3rd year doing this food drive. It's sponsored by Community Hope, which is an organization in Missaukee County. They help supply food for the food drives, or for the food pantries for Rehoboth Church and Prosper Church, Community Church. So it helps our local food banks and for our students or for our families and also other Missaukee County food pantries as well. Community Hope just serves Missaukee County and tries to reach out to our families. They do backpack programs. They do Kids Hope in Lake City. So it's a Missaukee County driven organization, and that's who's sponsoring this food drive. So February 1st through 14th, we'll accept non-perishable canned goods or non-perishable food and collect that, and Community Hope will pick up on the 14th, and that helps supply our local food pantries.
So will there be just like bins outside
Yeah.
in the lobby for people coming to events,
Yeah.
or just want to stop in? How do they donate?
Yep, so they can donate at the school offices. We'll have area down by the games in the lobby area where people can donate as well. Sounds like the principals are going to be planning some competitions for the kids to see what grade levels, what classes can bring in the most donations.
All right, so it not only involves students against students in a friendly competition, but it's also going to involve a way for the community to also share the love.
Correct.
All right, well, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I got one more question for you.
Yes.
Did you hear about the man who ate a frog?
I didn't.
He's probably going to croak. And on that, this has been Gary Vanna.
Scott Acom.
Feel the wheel.